I hired my brother's company to renovate my kitchen, then found the hidden cameras he'd installed throughout my house. When Drew offered to handle my kitchen renovation at cost, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. His construction company had a 6-month waiting list, but family came first, he said. After my divorce, I was living on a teacher's salary and eating takeout because my old kitchen was falling apart. Drew quoted me $8,000 instead of his usual $15,000. You've been through enough, he said, squeezing my shoulder. Let me take care of this. The work took 3 weeks. Drew's crew was professional, cleaned up daily, and his guys were always respectful. I felt safe having them in my house while I was at work. Drew would stop by most evenings to check progress, staying for dinner and catching up. For the first time since my ex left, I felt like I had family support. The kitchen turned out beautiful. Granite countertops, custom cabinets, new appliances. Drew even surprised me with a wine fridge. You deserve this, he said during the final walkthrough. Mom would have wanted you taken care of. 2 months later, I was getting dressed when I noticed something odd. A tiny black dot in my bedroom ceiling that hadn't been there before. I grabbed a chair and looked closer. It was a camera lens. Barely visible, but definitely there. My stomach dropped. I called in sick and spent the day searching every room. What I found made me physically ill. Cameras in my bedroom, bathroom, living room, even one inside the new kitchen island, angled toward the breakfast bar where I ate in my pajamas every morning. All the work Drew's crew had done gave them perfect access to install surveillance equipment. They'd been watching me shower, change clothes, sleep, for 2 months. I wanted to confront Drew immediately, but something stopped me. Instead, I drove to an electronics store and bought equipment to trace the camera signals. They were all streaming to the same local IP address. That night, I followed the signal. It led to Drew's house. I sat in my car, shaking. My own brother had turned my home into his personal peep show. I thought about all the times he'd asked about my dating life, seemed overly interested in my routine, the way he'd insisted on doing the work personally instead of just sending a crew. Instead of calling the police, I drove to our local coffee shop where Drew met his crew every morning. I waited until his van pulled up, then approached his window. We need to talk, I said. Drew's face went white. He knew. I can explain. Get in my car. Now. We drove in silence to his house. In his garage, I found monitors showing live feeds from my home. Dozens of video files labeled with dates and times. Some had been edited together like highlight reels. How long? I whispered. It wasn't supposed to be like this, he stammered. I was worried about you living alone after the divorce. I wanted to make sure you were safe. Safe? I grabbed his laptop and started scrolling through the files. These are labeled bedroom shower compilation and morning routine highlights. This isn't about safety. Drew's face crumpled. I know how it looks. It looks like my brother has been spying on me naked for months. The next morning, I called his top 3 business clients and played them selected audio recordings of Drew explaining his camera system to his crew. By noon, his company had lost $200,000 in contracts. I also called his wife. Linda, we need to meet. Bring your laptop. When I showed her the files, she stared at the screen in horror. There are videos of me too, she whispered. In your guest bathroom. She filed for divorce that afternoon. Drew showed up at my house that evening, desperate and angry. You've destroyed my life, he said through my front door. My marriage, my business, everything. I spoke loudly enough for my Ring doorbell to capture every word. You destroyed your own life when you decided to violate your sister's privacy. The police will be here in 10 minutes. As his patrol car pulled up, I handed the officers a USB drive containing everything. Drew got 2 years for voyeurism and invasion of privacy. His construction license was revoked. Linda got the house and half his assets. Last week, I finished renovating my bathroom myself. No contractors needed. I still check for cameras, though.